Leonard, TJ, how's it going today?
Great. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Doing well here.
Good
Wonderful.
to hear. So we're gonna start talking about a company called Leap of with Alice, right?
Yes.
Just making sure. Perfect.
Pretty cool company here. They're working on new education programs for kids, interactive education programs for kids.
We could call it AR after this part. It's an augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
Basically, what you're doing is you're taking a child, and instead of saying, here's a piece of paper and a book, figure it out, you're giving a child or whoever, because everyone really can learn from this with this style, you're giving them a piece of paper, and they're actually using our tech now, because every single kid in the world basically has a smartphone, because they're giving them away now, basically. They're going to be able to download their app, and you're actually going to see and interact, like you're able to be able to see the video of what's going on. So like they have an example on their website of a planet of Neptune where they have all the questions, and if you actually hold their app, yes, we did download their app to make sure this worked, or their test app right now. When you hold it up, the picture of Neptune pops up, then opens up and goes from question to question, explaining on how to answer these questions and what they are. The idea of it is super cool. Just it's a new, not really new way, but a new way to show AR style learning.
That is, yeah, I actually downloaded their app and it is pretty cool. I like how they show Neptune specifically. I could see the potential there. It doesn't, I thought it was going to be a little more interactive. But like it's not, I can't really interact with it yet, or I can't figure it out. Maybe it's meant for little fingers.
I'm not sure how. I mean, my phone only 3/4 of the screen works, so I don't even know if I'm following the directions correctly.
But yeah, no, it looks like a great idea. Something to work with what the kids are already, into, which is all the technology nowadays. Every kid is glued to their phone. Might as well use that, for their education and to further, give them tools to be able to learn.
Yep.
Well, it's amazing the interactivity of the product. Where you can point it at something of theirs that it's reading or recognizing a planet in the case you're describing, and then actually be different added to on the device. It provides a tactile learning experience.
Yeah, think about when you were a kid. How much more fun it would be to educate yourself this way compared to just reading a book or
Totally.
watching the teacher talk. Yeah, it turns into a game. It turns to where people are actually wanting to learn instead of a chore. And like, I guess I think it's really cool because like, think about, I mean, they're trying to make this 100% legal in America, which is a little bit harder for these companies to do, but they're partnering with all of these companies, like a Miami exchange, where this exchange is the first fully legal crypto exchange in the United States based on the SEC laws and regulations. So
Okay.
And they're releasing, go ahead.
When you're talking legal, are you talking about the product being legal or their offering?
Their tokens, their currency.
Okay.
Because like the ICOs are kind of on the SEC right now is really debating on making these, they are problematic according to the SEC. So they are using their wording correctly by calling them security tokens and using what SEC is calling it to make it right in a way. I mean, I'm sure the SEC will try to think of another way to do something, but right now they are, crossing their T's and dotting their I's as much as possible. So this is really cool to see. Read their white paper because it really does explain a lot. Yeah, they're trying real hard, and they're partnered with the University of Central Florida, which, I mean, according to them, is one of our bigger universities in the United States. And they are taking data research on how much better AR education is for students. And they're saying it makes the students interact upwards to 90% more than the original way. And that's a study from University of Central Florida. So they do. They're really, I really like the way they're working towards their business model and everything. It's really cool, and it's not just more convenient for the kids. Our educators also are going to make this easier, because think about your classrooms now. Now they're 25 on average per teacher, or 25 students per one teacher basically per classroom. In a 6-hour day, that's less than 30 minutes per student. If you cut out lunch, recess, and all the breaks, that's still about 30 minutes per student, or less than 30 minutes per student that the teacher can do a one-on-one with.
Yep.
This makes it so you have the time to give, like they have the individual education plans, and the teachers can actually put a student on their plan and change their plan based on the student, and just use this app to make sure that they can have that specific thing. And you're talking about children with dyslexia and autism that are already ignored, like don't like to call it ignored, but it's harder for the teachers to get an individual plan on specific people if they learn differently. Not saying that it's a learning disability. It probably is actually not even close to a disability. It could be a learning advantage if they have these things. It's just we don't have the time to give it to our full potential in ourselves. So we're just doing a whole individual education plan for the mass instead of what they're planned to do as individuals.
Right, and this is, go ahead.
How are lessons plans created?
Well, how are the individual education plans created? Well, normally it's a one-on-one with the student and the educator to plan the best way that child is supposed to learn.
Right. Well, how are the lesson plan created within this product?
So the educators can come in, and so they're gonna have like a whole step-by-step thing, and they're gonna have like free tools that you could actually bring it, like a Dropbox is what they're saying, that the educators, the creators of this content, are going to be able to put together for their individual needs. So
they can make money on it, and it's incentivized because other teachers are going to come and say, wow, I really want that for my classroom, and so they're going to pay whatever the price is, and they're going to get that lesson plan for her classroom. And it's probably, I mean, I hope it's not the teachers. It should be the schools getting involved, which I think they already are actually.
Well, even if it was the teachers, I mean,
it would save them time and everything.
And they don't even have to be original. They can, as you said, they can get it from other educators that are proven correctly by the people that are voting for these things to be good.
And put theirs on there too, so that they can make money on it as well if they have a great idea. They think
that's the very thing. You have an open technology plan base, an open knowledge base that an English teacher in California can grab something that an English teacher in New York developed.
And that was very successful, and everyone loves it. He shows it, yeah.
Exactly, and charge 50 cents or something. Take the whole iTunes store, model.
So this, I'm showing you something on my phone right now. I'm going to try to make this work. This is their cue, one of their targets. And what it does is recognizes words and then has a avatar pop up and act out those words. So right now it's think, it might be backwards.
No, it's not for us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
as you go on it.
Just disappeared. It was working a second ago.
Just disappeared. Hold on. Let's go to a different one. So this one is laugh.
I like it when it's on the video. It doesn't work as good as when we were just practicing it earlier.
Right. I don't know why it's not working.
But basically, while you're trying to get this working, these are sight words. So these are what your children should be able to see, memorize, know what it looks like, know how to say it, know what they mean. But the best thing to do here, when we saw the other educator or when we saw the avatar, it shows the child thinking, or that avatar thinking. So not only do they know how they spell it, not only do they know what it looks like, they're actually watching someone think.
Right, exactly. Or watching whatever it is. I mean, think about it for a child to be able to go around and say, "What is this?" And then just show it, and it gives you all the information about what it is.
Yeah, what's this word? Cool. Yeah.
Even just a word, and like it's not only just explaining what it is, which it can put words on there obviously as well. If we were looking at the Neptune, there's a Neptune example of a piece of paper with a Neptune. If you go to their website, you can see, and you have this piece of paper, and when you put your phone on it, it pulls up like a 3D model of Neptune and other planets, and then it breaks it apart and shows you exactly what it is. The type of learning, and like you were saying before, the lesson plans are set for the masses. Well, what if that lesson plan for the masses worked for everybody? That was actually helpful for everyone. It's easier for people with dyslexia to learn, or and an individual that doesn't have any type of learning disability, to be able to do the same thing, and both of them getting the same thing out of it. Yeah, instead of one of them having to go to a separate lesson, which has not been tested on masses. It doesn't have as many people working on it because you're not the majority.
I see the benefit being two separate products, though. You have the one device, but you have a lesson plan for somebody with ADHD, or you have somebody who's special and exceptional.
And it could be the same lesson, just different ways of wording things and stuff like that. And they have schools that are getting involved with them. They have schools that are focused on autism that seem like it looked like they were partnered with this team, or at least advisors to help. They have, if I was seeing this correctly, they have someone that's specializes in dyslexia, because they keep using that as their focus. But yeah, they're going to have these educators that do focus in these individuals
in their team. Yeah, exactly. I think my phone was on low battery, so was unable. So I plugged it in, and
perfect.
Now it's much faster. Because it was very interactive when I tested it earlier. You're seeing somebody giving right now because the words give. And then you could go around and see, it's 3D models, interactive. And I could see, the different, it's going to have a lot of value to this when people have it in their hands.
Several things on their website pointed to developers as they're trying to attract
their team. If you take a look at their team is extensive, and it looks like they have a great team that's going to be able to help with all the different, types of education, and then you also have your designers, and you have your 3D people. It looks like they had, it's actually a pretty large team from what I expected. And they're working with some schools. I think TJ said UCF.
UCF is definitely one of their partners that are showing this data.
Right. So, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I would like to follow this group. Going on the blockchain, this even indicates security issues will get a little bit better. They help prevent the security issues that we are having with breaches, and they had an example that one of the big educational platforms last year had 77 million users stolen from a breach.
Right.
And it was I was actually reading an article on it where this is the biggest breach for on student level. So like not just adults, but they're also breaching kids and students' email addresses and usernames and stuff like that. So now
nothing's private anymore.
Nothing's private.
And anything to fight it is awesome. So I hope this works.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm glad something's getting onto the blockchain for education that I've seen. And I actually, when I'm going through this site, I really like this company. They're looking good. They're following the laws as much as they can. They're going to have a security token and a utility token. So they're going to have Alice as their utility token that will start when the Alice exchange starts up, and that's going to be like the currency. And then they have their security token that will be, it doesn't come out until everything's processed and ready, but that's going to be like their equity, and that's what people are going to get like, here is equity in our company. So that's going to be the LWA token. That's going to be their security token. So I'm ready to see. I want to see them succeed. So and their roadmap goes to 2020, and it's, in depth. So it looks good based on, and it looks like their white paper and their website even match. So that's even the cooler part about it.
When is their SEO?
It's not an SEO.
Not an ICO.
No, it's not ICO. Yeah.
It's not an ICO, it's an SEO.
Yeah, sorry, it is an SEO. And
Right.
Their website said they were live. If I am standing set correctly, sorry, I'm rechecking just to make sure I am correct here. This is their website, but my computer just froze. Never mind.
What are you looking for?
Well, I was trying to see if they were live, and I thought it said they were, but
I think it did say they're live. Hold on 1 second. Jeez, asking the hard questions over here. But no, we were just talking about this. So they're doing a security offering instead of the normal coin offering.
Mm-hmm.
And that keeps them within the standards for the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're being super US legal.
Yeah, their target is the world. They want everyone involved. So and making it U.S. legal, I feel like if you want to be in the United States and in the world, make it U.S. legal to cover all your.
Right, that's what it is too. It's like, is it legal in the U.S.? Okay, cool. You get everywhere.
Yeah, everyone gets involved. Yeah, if it's you follow those laws, you can follow them all.
But yeah, no, I'm not sure. I don't know where I was reading that actually.
I thought it said it was live, but I can't find it anymore at the very moment of being on the spot.
Right. But either way, it's a great project. It looks pretty cool. I think they're going to go places. They already have gone places. They impressed me with the technology that they already put out for sure.
And incentivizing everyone. At least in America, teachers aren't getting paid enough, let alone this at least will bring them a side income that, let's say they're producing or let's say they're commenting, they can still be getting paid with token, and they're going to be accepting USD in this on their exchange as well. So,
well, more than that, I think hopefully you do get, a mass population of teachers that are using this and creating their own content and putting it up and making money. I feel like it's just the amount of time it's going to save them and the tools that it's going to allow them to have is going to help greatly for the, for the students.
Education platforms already exist. This one is an education platform on the blockchain that also gives you tools to make your own product.
And if it is an open platform, it creates an income stream for teachers, which is big.
Yes, this is an income for people that should be paid more. That brings in an extra income, and they don't, like, after creating it, that that project doesn't disappear. Being on the blockchain, that product will be put on the blockchain and be visible for everyone as it comes or as time goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm ready to see what this company looks like in a year, in 2 years. I'm going to be following them, so I'm excited.
For sure. I might be using them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's cool stuff that's around, definitely. Yeah, I love to see new technology, especially when it's helping out the masses and, going forward with, what we have. Instead of trying to work against educate, like what people want to do, where they're going already, it's going with it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. This video is sponsored by Leap with Alice. We are the RTL Brothers. We also accept guests, as you see. Bob Leonard is here.
Yeah, and we accept
requests, anything. If you have an idea,
request, please.
Yeah.
Let us know what you want to see and what you want us to talk about. We love to look up the new information and new technology. Bob, do you have anything to add here?
Nothing. I like it.
Cool.
Awesome.
This is not financial advice, but I think it's pretty cool educational advice.
Yeah, this is educational advice for an educational company. I like it.
Right.
Yeah, please subscribe to the RTL Brothers on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter.
Right, our YouTube channel is now RTL Brothers.
Yep.
It's going to be youtube.com/C/RTL Brothers.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Great talking to you, and I'm glad we got to talk about Leap with Alice. On to the next conversation. Have fun, guys. See you later.
All right, bye.